Hey guys, Nick Biddle here coming at you with this week's Drip, and this month we're going through a series I call a Standard of Excellence. Last week we talked about making a list. What do we really expect of those that we lead? And if you're getting started in this business, what does your boss expect of you? But let's really figure that out. The next step, and I know this is going to sound simple, but the next step is to simply communicate those expectations. We all have a set of expectations in our mind of what we expect of those that we lead, but how often do we take time to sit down and communicate those expectations? I often hear leaders say all across the country, well, dadgummit, Nick, it's common sense. Shouldn't have to tell somebody when to show up. Shouldn't have to tell somebody how to handle this situation or what to do if this happens. Man, common sense isn't all that common anymore, and if you're not communicating those expectations, there's a pretty good chance that they're not being met. So what I want you to do is I just want you to communicate those. Sit down with your crew before the job starts, during a break, during a lunch, after it's over, and let's communicate those expectations. So the next challenge is to actually communicate those expectations. But instead of sitting your guys down or sitting your crew down and just reading off what you expect, I want you to ask a question. I want you to sit them down. And I just want you to ask, guys, I may not be doing a great job of communicating my expectations with you, but when do I expect you to show up on a daily basis? Or how do you think you should handle this situation or this conflict? Or what should you do if this arises? You might learn a lot just by hearing some of the responses. If they are communicating exactly what you expect, then there's a pretty good chance you're doing a great job of communicating those expectations to them. But if there is some gaps between what you expect and what they believe you expect, then that might be a pretty good idea that as a leader, we need to do a better job of communicating those expectations. And guys, if you're just getting started in this business, if you're an apprentice, this is so critical. I want to challenge you to sit down with your boss and really be deliberate about figuring out what they expect of you and your performance on and off the job. It's going to make your career so much more smooth if you know. That's it for this week's Drip. Until next time, take care.